How's everybody feeling? Are we hungover? Are you feeling better than I am right now? I think we're all feeling better than Dan. I know that. But again, I know I've said this many times, but thank you guys so much for coming out and really coming out in full force and hanging out with us all weekend. We've had a blast getting to meet everybody and sharing some good news with you guys here. We got some more good news a little later, but we wanted to use this opportunity coming off of that panel, which was an amazing panel, by the way. Shout out to Mark Brickey of Adventures in Design, Frank Kozik, Jermaine Rogers, David and Reese for holding it down. Kind of slapped that thing together last minute, so they're always willing to come in a pinch, so I appreciate that. We're just gonna do like a quick Q&A thing. You know, we talked a lot about some good stuff this weekend, everything from Lambo to the Veve-verse, and we can, generally we've had some other questions that I think maybe burning, nothing too crazy, no wins. But we'll get to some good questions. I think we just generally want to hear what you guys want to know about the platform and about the future of the, I almost said project, but it's not a project, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. We're both here. All right.
You can switch off.
Yeah.
Like Dan always say, you could just hold down your button on the end, increase the lead, then you switch off.
That's terrible advice. You're making my job harder.
That's why I'm not supporting anymore.
No, just kidding.
All right, so what we're going to do is just going to open up to the floor, and if you have a question for David or Dan or Reese or me, which I don't know why you would, but I'm happy to take some questions. And first
I have a question for you.
Of course, Foster's first.
Should we pass the mic down?
Yeah, we're going to pass the mic.
All right.
So,
that's a lot of pressure. I got a loud voice. I'm good.
So if you want to hit a question, you do have to hold the mic so everyone's looking at you.
I have the golden baton. So I saw a lot of people off of the feedback from the Veve-verse yesterday were obviously very excited with what was shown. I think there was a lot of features and elements that were presented that a lot of people didn't see coming. As a part of the roadmap, it seems very tight, but I'm excited that you guys believe you'll be able to deliver on it. Something in Q2 specifically that I think a lot of people were commenting on yesterday was IP branded worlds. Now, you don't need to confirm specific verses or anything like that, but I'm wondering if you can elaborate for the people here and the fans at home, what are the types of things that we might be able to expect with something like that?
Well, number one, everyone knows we always meet our roadmap deadlines. So why do you think you calculate? You knew it was coming. Yeah, so the obviously what we showed yesterday was just a very small part of the Veve-verse, and that's your home space inside the Veve-verse. And what we're working with a lot of our IP holders and licensors is that they also want their own space in it. So I can't mention any specifically right now, but for our larger IP partners, there'll be you might appear in a hub for all of the brands that they represent, and then from there teleport off to another world that is very, very themed and immersive about that brand. We don't want to have all these brands kind of mixed together. That's the licensors get a little bit sensitive about that. But yeah, we plan on bringing more and more, and outside of the IP worlds, as I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of other type of content. I mean, there could even be a serene forest where you can just go and meditate or whatever. But I hope that answers the question.
Thank you very much.
All
right, next.
Good. Yeah, right here. Right here? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's MyCollectables. How you guys doing? Hey, so my kids are 13 and 15, and I wanted to ask over at the presentation. That was amazing, right? But I wanted to ask what you guys think about the youth. Because the way that they consume media and the way they consume their collectibles and the way they can oh, can you guys hear me? Is that better? Okay, sorry everybody.
Now it's on.
Yeah, FA microphone, so like this. So, okay, yeah. Once again, thanks for the presentation over there. I'll just repeat myself. My kids are 13 and 15, and the way they consume media and toys and collectibles, they're coming at it from digital to physical. And I thought it was really interesting that because I'm coming at it from physical into digital. And my whole interpretation of this whole space is different than theirs, right? And how they're growing up. So when you guys are planning for the future, are you looking at demographics like the younger generations and thinking about how they consume stuff because my kids are giving me tips every day of stuff I never thought of, because their whole existence is different than my upbringing. So it's a kind of a real interesting mind switch, you know. So
Yeah, I think that, you know, that's a perfect question. You know, the generation that we are living in right now, you know, my brother's kids, they're so into the digital. They understand the digital stickers, the characters, the weapons, the characters that they use, they spend money on. They are freely spending in this digital. They're almost thinking digital content is the physical, because it gives them that utility. They can use it in the game and so on. In part of Veve and myself and Dan, when we talked about the future roadmap, it is the new generation that's coming. Like you mentioned, your kids are 10, 15, in a 5-year time they're going to be 20. They're going to have big disposable income, hopefully, and then they can buy and they will understand more. In fact, your physical collectibles, they are very likely they're going to sell it and buy digital. That's the ultimate truth. I mean, I'm a very physical collector myself, and Dan has never collected anything, you know, about 8 to 10 years ago. And the last 4 or 5 years working on Veve, me bringing him into my world, how my brain functions, he has started collecting. I mean, I just want to set the record right this time. There's 6 suitcases going back to New Zealand, and they will not with any of my stuff. It's all bizarre. So he's becoming more addictive than ever in the physical and collecting of it. So next time at the MA, he says, you know, it's all coming from me. No, he's really into it.
You guys really got to project, going in the back and hearing.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. No, give feedback. Sorry guys, I'll speak up a little bit more.
So again, really fantastic work this weekend. You literally blew everyone away. So there's about 146 people, and most of them keep asking the same question. I don't know if you guys saw this Instagram post by okay, so that's the question. Basically, 1.7 million people have liked this, and just to read it out, Banksy says, please go to guests on Regent Street. They've helped themselves to buy artwork without asking. How can it be wrong for you to do the same to their clothes? So basically, people are asking, is Banksy going to go after Veve for this, like with the Banksy stuff? Like, how does the process work for you guys?
So just to set the record, and thank you for bringing that question up. And I just talked to Dan just prior we coming on, and we have spoke to, you know, our licensor, the Brandalism, and as well as with Medicom. Just keep in mind, Veve is a licensee, and what we do is we bring collectible to our platforms. Now, the licensee that we're working with is Brandalism, and we are also working with Medicom, and it's inspired a section of the toys that they have brought out as a 3D collectible onto our thing. You probably have seen some of the video footage that we have put up. It is made by fans for the fans. Alright, so they're not actually being endorsed by him. Just want to set the record right. It is coming from a company that has been licensing to, as you mentioned, and the product and our legal have checked it. It's all legitimate license that we have. Just so we understand, there will be territory restrictions in some of the items. If the brands have license to sell in the US, then it will be available. They are certain items will not be available in the US because different property owners and IP owners hold different things. Just rest assured that Veve goes by all the contract, and we stand very close with our partners in this. And you guys will have known that the medical toys that they had brought out that was inspired by the street artists, and those are the figures that we're bringing out. You're not going to be getting a one-of-one or endorsement from Banksy himself. We don't actually know him personally as a collective group or any way. So these are for the collectibles that we'll be bringing out with the Medicom inspired toys once again.
Thank you.
Can I ask an e-commerce question? So my e-commerce question is that as we've seen recently, the crypto NFT market has kind of taken a downfall. Why have you all not batted an eye whatsoever? Like I honestly have to ask, why are we not batting an eye, knowing that there's terrible, like, dangerous things going on, but you guys haven't really even looked at it in a negative light, and I want to know why.
I think the first thing I'd say is probably our conviction more than anything. We know where we're headed and the products that we want to deliver. But fundamentally, looking at the rest of the market, I mean, it's just a market cycle. The markets are based on psychology. We fully believe that everybody will come back in, the speculators, the scammers, everything else, because that's how everybody works. So, we don't build for a specific market cycle. We're building products to last for the next 10, 20, 30 years.
Just to talk a little bit point on that is that we don't live every day looking at the value of the Kobe token price. I don't really think any corporations out there monitors every single day what the activity is. What we measure based on is our deliverables in our quarterlies, deliveries, features, our app users download, etc. Because we understand the long term. If you get the amount of users and fan base, you're naturally going to convert. We look at conversions rather than short terms. The market has softened, and everyone has seen that, but that's across everything. And you probably have read reports out there, NFTs down 80, 70, 90% transaction as well. And naturally, that always going to happen. And how the cycle works is that if you purchase something, if you purchase a rock for $1 million, it's unlikely you're going to sell it for $1 because you're going to go, well, I paid for that, so I'm not going to sell it for nothing. So you're naturally going to see the diminishing of transactions, and therefore the value is going to decrease because people are holding to it. One of the major things with Veve is about the products made for fans and collectors out there. The idea is that 80%, we're targeting about 75% of the NFT that we sell, digital collectible, goes to collectors. So you naturally, you're going to see a lot less people flipping, and that's what we want. And you have seen we have decreased the amount of NFTs or edition size, and that's because we really want these products to go to the right hand of the collectors out there. And then naturally, we'll be going down to what you mentioned about the OMI token as well, is that we want the holders to hold them. And that's why we have done a lot. We have announced the OUP program out there. We are intensively in negotiation and talking to exchanges out there. But as you guys do have to understand is that we need to make sure we are listed on reputable exchanges. And we have some sagas going down, and we just need to make sure whatever we do next move is that it's going to be the right move for the community.
Thanks, Reese. I have two questions actually. My first one is the idea of the metaverse economy. I think ultimately with the gamification, we're trending towards that concept. I remember I had a discussion with Metaverse Life. I don't know if he's here right now, but we talked about how people might have full-time jobs in the metaverse, actually taking care of someone's property. Is this where the Veveverse is going, where you almost are going to have new industries come within it?
Yeah, exactly. So my vision for it, and I have to say I haven't fully scoped this out yet, but what I'm intending for the economy side is that, ultimately there might be people who are extremely good at setting up showrooms. They can do the amazing interior design, but maybe that's not your kind of your skill set. So there will be potentially job boards or listings where you can basically post, can somebody come into my house, and you be able to grab them X amount of access to move everything around, but obviously not sell them or flip them. And that could go even further, into any other kind of building or services that could be provided. So I think if there's a lot of people in there, you can do stuff, and there are assets of value, there is naturally going to be an economy rise up. So there will be parts of the Veveverse or a structure in the Veveverse to allow that to happen.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting when you think about what can come from that. And the second question I had is, as more time goes on, we should expect that there will be many more metaverses popping up. What do you think will differentiate the Veveverse compared to the other metaverses that will come in?
I mean, I think each metaverse that pops up will be its own, entire topic, right? So ours is obviously about premium collectibles and artworks and, social interactions. Another metaverse might be something else. I mean, whether anyone will catch up with our technology, I don't know. But I think each metaverse is going to have its own kind of unique spin. Yeah, and I believe a lot of them can exist together. Yeah, I don't think there'll ever be one just giant metaverse.
All right, thank you.
Hey guys, great job. We are blown away. We are blown away. You can keep that a secret. The whole BB-verse, it looks like, the comments I'm hearing is it looks like Grand Theft Auto BB. It looks pretty amazing. So there's been a lot of the holders. I have a lot of collectibles. We have a lot of collectibles stacked. One of the things we keep thinking about is renting out venue space. That utility of renting. We're waiting for it. We're super excited. We see hiring designers, like was mentioned earlier. I remember talking to the AMA like maybe a year ago, right? So I think we're excited for that to come, and we're seeing all these like almost jobs, people that can work and do their side hustle inside the BB-verse. So my question is, what kind of, can you just expand a little bit on what you guys are thinking there, and where you think that could possibly go?
You mean as the just jobs you can do within the BB-verse,
or just how the economy would work, and then would that burn OMI as part of it? It sounds like everything's going to burn OMI, but just how you envision that, and could it stay like? Could I pay? So I'm going to have, for example, Tails from the Rizzo's, one of his showrooms. I create a template. He sells me a template. Can I fill that up with collectibles? And if I'm missing some, I'm going to have to go buy some from the market, which creates demand for the market, which I think is good. So we just want to see like more reasons for action in the market. Even in a down market, people are still spending money. So I think if there was more utility, right, where they could really kind of bring it and have reasons and people getting jobs, I mean, it would really transform the world, really.
I think the part of the BB-verse will be access based. So you won't be able to get into certain areas of the BB-verse unless you own specific collectibles. And if you own like a whole set, maybe you can get deeper into that that world, so to speak. So there'll definitely be a lot of drivers to encourage people to hold the collectibles they want, to enter the areas that they want to be in. And in terms of the economy side of things, or the sort of the payment, it's something Dave and I are still working through. But of course, OMI will be a big part of that. However, it'll be more than likely that many other forms of payment as well, whether that's crypto or fiat or whatever. Yeah, I think it needs to be fairly open.
And just for the content creators out there and the fans who love 3D and moving into digital, Dan did mention yesterday as part of the roadmap is that content creators can be part of this whole ecosystem. They can be building things and earning money for themselves, and that's quite a key part for us. Is that and one of the major reasons why we at DCON and we are part of these physical events is because we respect the artists out there, the talents and the creators, and we want to give back to these people as well. So and many times part of our pitch to our IP owners is that we always say to our IP licensors that the stars are the users. They want to be the one that's creating these things. So the power is unlimited once we have our own universe to do this with you guys.
Hello? All right, there we go. This is BB Vibes. You guys have been awesome all around. I have two quick questions. Closer, there we go. BB Vibes. I have two quick questions. First one is talking about, I know we're gonna have the account merging stuff happening pretty soon. And as much as I love, potentially making money and all that, I'm curious about trading. I know people in the community love doing giveaways. Well, that's one of my favorite things to do on my content, my streams, doing giveaways, sharing their love and their passion for certain IPs, whether it's comics or independent artists. They say, hey, I have 10 of these, more than happy to give one away to a new user or a new person. Is there going to be any chance that we get like trading back, or maybe have like an exclusive whitelist for people that could be doing trading or giveaways and stuff?
Yeah, great question. obviously we had to take away the transfers because people were laundering through it. We obviously can't have that kind of activity happening on the platform. But what we will be doing is setting up some sort of system where you as a verified influencer or YouTuber will be able to do those giveaways, and then we'll have a process that'll be sort of monitored in our back end. Like you'll basically submit it, someone will give it the green light, and then it will transfer all the collectibles out.
Awesome. So it's like a legitimate trade. So it's all in your guys' system. You're being checked through. More giveaways. That's good. And the other question I had was also just being here was also seeing all the independent artists and stuff, and I want them to sign my NFTs, right? But I have to take a screenshot in the app and then have them sign it. I know David, you signed my Steamboat Willie. I had Matt Gondbeck sign my Weapons Rack. It's cool, but it's like, is there a way we can get digital signatures or have a way to show it on the NFT itself?
Great question. Yeah. So I mean, I'm one of those biggest fans. I love to get signatures. You guys probably seen it, and people getting my signature, their signature, and you want it to be authentic, verified. So we are. That is on the roadmap. And we're working out how we're going to do that the best. And obviously, you guys all want the confidence. So we are going to try to see how we're going to switch that camera on. While that person is signing it, the camera is switching it on, taking a snapshot while that's happening. So we're figuring that out as well.
So how would something like that be implemented in the Veveverse? Could you also guys do something on like Web3 where they could actually have like some sort of like digital signature where you can send the collectible over to them, they can like press a button and it's signed, or maybe even have artists be able to, have a small fee or premium to have signatures, right?
Well, it often comes down to the IP as well. But like for example, if you had an artist piece, you could meet that artist in the Veveverse, and then as you saw yesterday, we've got all the drawing tools, everything, so they would actually be able to, with Oculus, if they had that, be able to sign the piece physically. But for the more app-based application, essentially you'll be able to load up your collectible. There'll be a button on there that says, add signature. You'll hand the phone over to the artist. Like David said, it'll take a photo, it'll write it on chain. So it's a feature that I really want as well. So I'm hoping to get it further up the roadmap.
Awesome, thank you.